Jimmy Galloway. I live in Chattanooga, and I play guitar. Well, I'm walking with my wolfhound. I'm going streambound, going to Trout Town. Give a man a fish, gonna eat one time. When they're showing how we're gonna take that line. All I want to go is go, head on down to that hole, trying to trick a trout and taking it back. While I'm walking with my wolfhound, I'm going streambound, going to Trout Town, go fish. I got room for one more in my crib. Me and that dog gonna have ourselves a meal. We're gonna start the back and wine till the break of up a peace of mind. Both be going upon that bank under a tree, while walking with my wolfhound. I'm going streambound, going to Trout Town, go fish. While I'm walking with my wolfhound, I'm going streambound, going to Trout Town. Well, I'm going down. Oh, I'm going down. Oh, I'm going down. watch each other going just to make it through another day. You've been working late and I've been working early. See you for a minute, reminds me of a time. Remember how we met. Remember I wanted you. Remember what we've seen. Remember it used to be so easy to have a conversation. Now it's just a strain to keep our voices low. And 90 miles ain't nothing to what would do a minute. Hush and let me hold on to what I know before. Remember how remember I wanted you. Remember what we've seen. Remember me. Remember the past got left behind. Remember the future's up to chance. Remember we wouldn't have a prayer without each other, without each other, without a doubt. Can't sleep, so I creep going down the stairs. Working on some old song drifting in the air. Coming down, morning sounds of the light shining the east. We used to sing like those birds and trees, but it was just a dream. I'm pretty good, doing what I'm shown. Cage is open, the bird ain't flown. I'm just sitting there looking at me strange. I guess I'm pretty good at breaking things. us won't make it, and some of us will, and some of us are running, and some of us stand still. I'm pretty, they're doing what I'm shown. Cage is open, the bird ain't flown. Just sitting there and looking at me strange. I guess I'm pretty good at breaking things. Sometimes I feel so barren, like a zero on the ground. Sometimes I get so angry, but I cannot make a sound. Sometimes I feel so hopeless, that the answer's never found, but I'm still standing. Sometimes I look at my child, I don't know what to say. Sometimes the road is far, but there's not another way. Sometimes I feel so broke, but somehow gotta pay, that I'm still standing. That I'm still standing on my feet, 'cause I don't want you to see that inside I'm on my knees. I'm still standing. Sometimes I get so breathless, like I'm running out of air, and off in the distance, all I do is stare into the house of God, wishing He was there, but I'm still standing. I'm still standing on my feet, 'cause I don't want you to see that inside I'm on my knees. I'm still standing. I'm still standing on my feet, 'cause I don't want you to see that inside I'm on my knees. I'm still standing.
studio in the Chattanooga Public Library. This is Jimmy Galloway. In a post promoting one of his shows in Barking Legs recently, Bruce Kaplan wrote, "Jimmy Galloway may well be the best guitarist in Chattanooga that most people don't know about." He has such facility.
I have technique. I've worked at it a long time.
Well, that's evident.
However, I like songs. You know, it's kind of like after 5 minutes of one of these hotshot guys, I'm like, you know, that's great, but I think I've seen everything this guy's going to do for the rest of the night in this 5 minutes. It's not about a show of, you know, feats of strength. You know, I've loved songs growing up. I still do. I'm a song guy. I'm a songwriter. I love production. I have a producer's ear for that stuff. So, yeah, the Guitar Olympics, the Wheedly, that's not for me. That's, you know, and then the other guys are like the Strummy Strummertons. So I had a mentor, and he called them Strummy Strummertons, and I stole that from him. It's John Madden. He used to run the Red Light Cafe open mic on Wednesdays, and that was my church. I went there. And he was just a great dude. And he wound up passing away, had a heart attack. And he was a mentor to a lot of people in Atlanta. You need older guys that have been there, done that, to steer, to give you perspective. Because you can easily be like, well, if I can just get this lick up to 120 beats a minute and get, you know, stick the landing, right? If I can do that, I get 50,000 Instagram followers, and I'm legitimate now. I'm bona fide, right? And that's, you know.
Is this the kind of thing you used to write for the do you still write for that magazine, the guitar magazine?
That was a review I did of an instrument. Yeah, if anybody had any sense, they would not want me to write about music.
I don't know. I think you're very articulate about it. You know, that's interesting.
I have a definite perspective for sure. But the thing with me is, you know, the best thing that I've done for my playing is teaching, because I steer people, and I want them to understand the, you know, the fundamentals of music. I want them to understand the building blocks of harmony and melody, because that's what it's all about 100%. Nobody cares if you can boom chick, right, and not drop the ball. Nobody cares about that. Nobody leaves a gig being like, man, you remember that one lick? You know, nobody cares about that. But hey, you know that song that had the hook that was like, never gonna let you go, or, you know, some sort of turn on words, like a double entendre that's really smart, right? People remember those clever things. You know, they don't remember the assault. You know, it's kind of like you go to like Buffalo Wild Wings and it's habanero wings, right? And it's the assault of the wings. You remember, man, those were hot, but you don't remember how they tasted, right? I actually like to play with effects and schmaltz, if you will. But I wanted to make sure today I punish myself as severely as possible. So it's like just direct guitar, you know.
Well, I thought that Jerry Reed tune that you did, that was great.
Yeah, nice.
Because in some ways, I suppose, if you wanted to introduce yourself as a guitar player, so, well, I've got this tune Jerry Reed wrote, you know, and everybody's going to say, wow, let's check this out, you know. Because that's an acid test, right? If you can play his stuff, you can probably play almost anything.
Yeah, so I used to teach at Atlanta Institute of Music, and we got Tommy Emmanuel to come in. And my friend, Gene Quinn, who's a monster guitar player, I put the word out that we would love to have him at school. And he's like, well, he's coming to Atlanta for 2 nights at the Variety Playhouse. Let me put you in touch with him. So he came down and did a master class he played 2 hours nonstop, and just could not have been nicer. It was really great. And, you know, Tommy is bringing the legacy of Chet and Jerry and Lenny Breau and, you know, the Mount Rushmore of finger pickers, right? So, and he's on it for sure. The thing that's great about Tommy is he's an ambassador of the guitar, and it's very childlike. his enthusiasm and stuff. When you meet him, you're scared to death, really. And after a couple minutes, you're playing with him, and he's laughing because, you know, he's like, man, what did you play there? That was sick. And he makes you stop playing and show him what you did, because he's going to steal it and then do his thing to it, you know, which is he's going to take it to the moon, right? So, but it's, you know, it's just so awesome to be
So
around.
did he do that?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, that was mind-blowing, really.
So what did he do to it after you
I
gave it to him?
don't know what he did, but so for me, so you can do that kind of weird stuff, or you know, that kind of stuff, you know, like. So you just keep it going. I like chaos. I like, you know, chaos is an effect. So it's like, this guy is going to completely bag right in front of me. He's going to completely come off the rails, and then you just barely pull it off, and then it's like, oh my God, that's amazing! He pulled it. He just pulled the plane out of the cliff, right? And that's dangerous. It's like Jimmy Page. You know, people bag on Jimmy Page. He's sloppy. Well, I would rather hear sloppy, but not dropping the ball instead of flawlessly executed every time, because that's not dangerous. You know that guy's practiced that, and that's his wheelhouse, and that's fine. You know, you owe it to your audience to be smooth, you know, to have an upper percentage on your batting average, right? But, you know, technical virtuosity, for me, you get used to it. You hear it like we talked about, and you're like, okay, this is going to be perfect all night. And where's the danger?
Yeah, I don't think music was meant to be perfect.
No, that's why people liked punk rock, and that's why people liked Hendrix. They didn't know what would happen next. Hendrix was the grand poobah of controlling chaos. Like, he would hit a note and he was playing so loud, and you are technically playing your guitar and amp and effects, because it's like a ecosystem. You know, the guitar is so loud. I'm lucky enough, you know, I'll be 50 this year. I'm lucky enough that I grew up learning how to play with a guitar into like a very loud amplifier, playing at a big stage, and just, you know, feeling the air go flap my britches, basically. You know, it's so loud on stage.
So you feel sound waves
You
coming
can
off it?
totally feel, you can almost lean back into it and it'll hold you up. So when you play that loud, it's a totally different skill set than somebody playing into a little computer modeler thing into their phone and putting it on the internet, you know, because you're awesome in the bedroom, but then you leave the house and you plug into an amp and it's like breathing fire. It's like crazy loud. And then you got to control it. So that's why they have all the knobs and switches on a guitar. You can turn it down, you can roll off the tone, you can pick a different pickup, you can play towards the neck, and you know, it's a whole different thing. So I'm lucky enough that I learned from an amazing teacher, Jim Birch, back outside of Charlotte. And Jim is like Mensa level guitar. He played with Chet, you know. Jim could play pretty much anything Tommy could play. Jim could play anything Jim Hall could play. He could play Jerry Reed stuff. I was a kid, and he would teach me. We had a deal. 1 week you bring something in, and then the next week I got to show you something. So I'm bringing in Judas Priest and Metallica and Yngwie Malmsteen. My dad called him Yin Yang. Boy, I don't want to hear no yin yang, you know. Because my dad loved Chet and the country guys and Roy Clark, and I grew up seeing Hee Haw. But Jim could play all of it, every bit of it. And I just was like, well, okay, well, if you play guitar, you have to be able to do that, because I didn't know any better. That was like the benchmark is like utter genius, you know. And we're still friends. He'll be 80 this year, and I'll be 50. We're 30 years apart. But growing up, you see the entire instrument explored, and you know, he would always tell me, "You're never going to master the guitar. You're going to limit your imagination."
I can't find the words, they don't seem to rhyme. No matter how rehearsed, feel like I'm out of time. The sand that's in the glass slips down so fine. Watching the moments pass, feel like I'm out of time. 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 Looking for a place to land, looking for a sign. I once had you in the palm of my hand, but I feel like I'm out of time. So I look up at the stars, the moon on the river, it shines. No matter how I got this far, feel like I'm out of time. 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 Shaman lived a great eagle son, had a vision of days to come, of a people men that would rob them of their land of sky. Months had passed till that day came. Strangers walked across their plains, learning all the ways of land to manifest a distant land. And I want to embrace this world on your land. I want to replace all your dreams with all of mine. Winter came too harsh to bear. Settlers' lives were often spared by native means and ancient ways, wisdom that were never repaid. Room for two collided to one. Arrows, spears, black powder guns. Never again when they see eye to eye. Paradise lost for either side. And I want to embrace this world on your land. I want to erase these things by your hands. I want to replace all your dreams with all of mine. Wars raged on for years and years. Blood washed away in trails of tears. Settled down to our very earth. Guilt is measured from forgiveness's worth. And I want to embrace this world on your land. I want to erase these things by your hands. I have to forsake the treaties of man. I want to replace all your dreams with all of mine.
From the studio in the Chattanooga Public Library, this is Jimmy Galloway. So there's something to be said for being that exacting in the work you do, but it's what you're saying, the same thing you're saying about people who play very quickly. It's impressive. And you say, oh, wow, that's really cool, you can do that. Now, what else can you do? You know, what can you do that makes me feel something?
You know how to terrify a guitar player? Hand them an acoustic guitar and tell them to go sit in the corner and play for some people for 30 minutes unaccompanied. No gizmos, no nothing. You know, play solo guitar, not even singing, not even songs, just solo guitar. And that's difficult. That's a lot more difficult than people realize. You know,
a number of people have made that observation about Neil Young when he first started doing his solo shows.
Yeah.
And that was a Neil Young song you played towards the end of your set, right? Yeah. So, well, first of all, it's the sound of it. His playing doesn't sound like anybody else, even when you're just using an acoustic guitar, because that was a song I think was originally done on electric guitar with the Crazy Horse. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter, you know. How do you do that? And the question that's always puzzled me is, how is it that 6 strings and some wood can create an infinite variety of sounds? It's just amazing that such a simple instrument could be so versatile.
I really think it comes down to intention and vulnerability. And it's very terrifying for someone to be vulnerable in front of people, to put your art and the things in your head that live in there. And you're like, I'm going to share this, and this could be like, you know, not received well.
I'm sure you've had that experience.
Oh, yeah. I've been playing, 38 years this year, something like that. There's times that are character building, you know, and that's actually good, because it's just like today. This is the first extended thing of the harp guitar I've done, and I'm going to go home knowing I did it, knowing what worked, knowing what didn't, knowing the challenges of maybe going back and forth between certain tunes. I had some tuning stability issues, because, you know, if they were wildly apart in key. So everything today was a win as far as learning, because I like to learn. I'm thirst for knowledge. That was something I grew up, you know, being reminded of. So, yeah, it's...
Well, that's a beautiful instrument, Jimmy.
Thank you. Yeah, it's...
And 100 years old, you said?
No, actually
it's more than that if you said 1913.
Yeah, this is a replica of that. Uh-huh. So this is a newer instrument. This is a Timberline. And Rob Smith runs Timberline, and he designed this particular shape in conjunction with Greg Miner, M-I-N-E-R, Greg with 2 G's. Greg just retired. He's like a NASA scientist, but he's a harp guitar aficionado. He is the world's foremost expert in harp guitars. And he actually has a harp guitar museum in his house. Like bigger than the studio, and it's completely climate controlled, and he's got stuff that came over from Europe in the 1700s, you know, when they were making lyres and mandolas, and then Knudsen and Dyer.
Because that is a lyre, right? That's a lyre on top of the guitar?
Kinda. It's like a harp, like an extended range harp or lyre.
Because it would never have occurred to me, but when you say that, right. It's the shape of the body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it's sort of like a half a lyre, right?
That's right. And then you have to, you know, there's all kinds of fun challenges with learning one of these, like, you know, how to reach the strings, you know, like a. style. Let's see. So these, I just installed these myself. That was major surgery. These are called levers, harp levers. So you can just flip a switch and they go up a half step. And then this little post in here, you adjust them to fine tune it to get it in tune. So, you know, I can go like a... Pretty
so
wild.
it's the opposite of what I thought Michael Hedges was doing. That's where those bass strings come from. It's from the top
on some of the pieces, yeah. Now, Michael revolutionized the instrument with his piece Because It's There, and that was he wound up doing a soundtrack for a Japanese filmmaker about scaling a very tall mountain in Japan. It's like, you know, where you needed oxygen. It was not quite Everest, but it was, you know. So they reached out to him, commissioned him to do it, and he just happened to get the harp guitar, I don't know, about a year before. So he has this really cool method of doing a bass line, and then I can't do it. So
he's playing one off against the other, isn't he?
Correct. It's terrifying. So
well, it's really cool the way it sounds.
It is.
And it sounds so simple, but then when I'm watching your finger, I can see how it's not what it sounds like.
No, it's not. For me,
it never is, right?
I gotta say, and this, you know, maybe other people can relate with this, and there is music I do not want to learn because I revere the music so much that I don't want to understand there's a rabbit in the hat. You know, it's a magic trick. I don't want to know that there's a mirror under the table and the person's legs is under there. Yeah, I want to press play and I want to be transported because music is medicine. Music is magic, and people don't understand that. So I want to have something that I can totally listen to, totally be transported, and not be thinking, oh, that's just in the key of G, and then that's at the shape of the neck, and that's the, you know, because I already ruined a lot of music learning it.
Come dancing across the water, Galleons and his guns, looking for the new world, his palace in the sun. On the shore lay Montezuma with cocoa leaves and pearls. Halsey often wondered about the secrets of the world, and the subjects gather round him like leaves around a tree. Clothes of many colors, the angry gods see, and the women were beautiful. Men stood straight and strong, offered life and sacrifice. The others could go on. Hate was just a legend, was never known. People worked together and to lift the many stones, and they carried them to the flatlands, but they died along the way, and did with their bare hands what we still can't do today. And I know she's living there, loves me to this day. Still don't remember where, how I lost my way. Come dancing across the water, Cortez, Cortez. Come dancing across the water, Cortez, Cortez. There's a darkness in my soul, and a time I just as soon forget. There's a brightness in your eyes, and a light I'm sure I'll never get. You've got a certain way, when you're around, everything just clicks. Some days the house is falling down, and all I got left are the sticks. Moving forward never never seemed like a good idea until you came around. Your name's ringing in my ear, and I gotta get used to the sound. One foot to the fire, one to lift me higher. Just take the next step. Blue eyes on the highway, red eyes looking back. I ain't got time for that. There's a funny feeling in the back of my neck, something watching out for me, keeping me on track. One foot to the fire, one to lift me higher, and just take the next step. Blue eyes on the highway, red eyes looking back. I ain't got time for that. Blue eyes on the highway, red eyes looking back. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time.
Jimmy Galloway playing his harp guitar in the studio in the Chattanooga Public Library. The session, as they all are, was recorded and mixed by Sam Manser. If you'd like to take advantage of the studio for several hours every month, all you need is a library card. Thanks a lot for listening. We'll have another session live in the library next Saturday at 8. Good night.